أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم عن النبأ العظيم. Allah responds, عما يتساءلون عن النبأ العظيم, and this is a continuation of the question. Are they really asking about النبأ العظيم? النبأ in Arabic means news, but there's another word in Arabic for news which is khabar. So there are two words now. There's naba and there's khabar. What's the difference between naba and khabar? First of all, an-naba'u a'zam, meaning naba is a greater kind of news. It's a more important news. That's one difference between naba and khabar. So you don't use naba for anything. Like if you know the store closes at 10 o'clock, that may be khabar. It's not naba. But you know somebody won the election, or there's a war that started, or something huge happened, that would be considered naba. And that's how it's used in the Quran. Khabar, by the way, is used in the Quran twice, both times for the same context. When Musa alayhi salam is coming or is with his family in the desert and it's dark and he sees a light from a distance, he tells them, maybe I'll get some khabar from there. Okay? Atikum bi khabarin. Maybe I'll bring you some kind of news. He doesn't know what the news is going to be. Maybe they'll have some beneficial information. He's not sure, so he uses the word khabar. But when Allah speaks of nations that are destroyed in the past, Allah speaks of anba'u ma kanu bihi yastazi'un, naba'u alladhina kafaru, the news of those who came before, but huge events. So this is the first difference between naba and khabar. The second thing is, naba necessarily has a benefit. It is a news information that has some benefit for the person receiving it. Also, it demands a reaction, it demands an action. It's not just something you could say, oh, that's nice, and you sit there. But naba is something, when you hear it, it demands that you change something about yourself. Like naba would be, there's a fire in the building, right? Now, what does it demand from you? I got to get out of here, or I got to tell other people there's a fire, right? So this is another difference between naba and khabar. And finally, naba has dhuhur in it, as the linguists argue. What that means is that it's a manifest event. You know, there's abstract ideas and actual physical material events. Naba is a material event, something physical, something tangible, something you can see and touch. That's what a naba is. So when Allah speaks of the next life and resurrection as naba, He's referring to its tangible nature. You know, there are other religions who feel that the afterlife is some kind of a spiritual, intangible kind of thing. But even by the use of the word naba, we know it is real. It's physical, and it's not a state of mind. It's actually a state. It's a place. That the Jannah and Nar are actual places. They're not just, figments of the imagination or places in our mind. Anyhow, so this is عن النبأ العظيم. Are they really asking about this enormous, and now Naba is enormous in and of itself, but Allah adds azim to it as an adjective, as a sifa to it. So is it true that they're actually asking one another in this sarcastic tone about that enormous event? About that enormous news that is supposed to lead them to some kind of action, and yet instead of leading them to action, it's leading them to make this kind of ridicule as far as this news. And then Allah adds another rhetorical question. All of this is rhetorical questions so far. الَّذِي هُمْ فِيهِ